Okay, hope this is the right one. I'm doing it again. Okay, so what's up, babies? Look, today we're going to be talking about a story. Really quickly, what I do when I'm doing the stories is I give writers something to think about. So think about these stories as being a creative prompt, okay? So the story that we're going to be talking about today, I actually found on the internet. And I had to sum it up because it was kind of long, but you're going to get to the point. Okay, so it says, my wife threatened my daughter. Okay, and stay until the end because I'm going to give you a secret way on how to use these stories to apply them to your own books. Okay, so it says, my daughter said my wife threatened to kick her out when she was 18 and that I will choose her over my daughter. And he's basically saying that he got a new wife, and this new wife came to his daughter and said, when you turn 18, I'm going to throw you out. And the story goes on. I got to paraphrase it a lot because it's like in one bump. But it says, my wife is 34 and I'm 34. My daughter is 16. He said, I had her when I was very young. He said, her mother left us when she was about 3. She has been the center of my attention for all this time. And basically my world revolved around her. He says, I dated this woman because I was afraid in the beginning to bring anybody new. So he started dating her, but in the beginning, he was afraid to bring anybody new. He says, so before this woman, he was just dating casually and as a way to fulfill his sexual needs. And that was pretty much it. Finally, he said he decided to get into a serious relationship again with a longtime friend. Said they had feelings for each other since high school. And then he went on to say that she was the hottest girl in the school. He says, we know everything about each other. And she knows how much I care about my daughter and that I'll do anything for her. She knows not to cross the line. So he's serious about it when it comes to his daughter. He says, we dated for a little while. Then when I made sure my daughter liked her and everything was okay, we got married. He says, I've never been happier. My life has pretty much been hard before this point. So having a new wife was on point. And she's pregnant right now with a boy. He said, but yesterday my daughter came across and really agitated. I was in a meeting in my office and she busted in crying. And it was in front of his employees. He says, when she calmed down, they went out to talk. They took a walk. And she told him that she got into an argument with his wife. And that she called her, the wife called the daughter, a lazy piece of this, that, and the third. And he says, and she also went on to tell the daughter, this is coming from the daughter, that this is the reason why your mother left you, because you're a lazy piece of shit. He says she also threatened to kick her out when she was 18. And he said, I won't stand in her way because I love her so much, and that I won't choose someone who won't do anything for her over her. So basically, the woman said that if you go to your father, he's going to still choose me. So this is what the little girl is saying. He said, I reassure her that she is always going to be my top priority and she can stay in my house as long as she desires. She looked a little bit better when I told her that. He says, when I furiously confronted my wife and told her about the whole situation, she looked offended and told me she never said that. She said that my daughter's room was completely messy, and then she asked the daughter to help clean it up. And she responded with, it's your responsibility. So the daughter was like, look, I'm not cleaning my room. That's your responsibility as the wife. She says, now leave me alone. You are annoying. And she said, it's not going to be able to leave when she's 18 because she's irresponsible. Okay, so he bunched this up, but I like this story for a number of reasons. The daughter said that the wife said that you're not going to be able to leave when you're 18 behind how you take care of your room and your other things. So that's what she said. She said, not that I'm going to throw you out. So we got 2 different stories, okay? He says, now I don't know what to do. Both sides expect me to believe them through my wife's story, although my wife's story seems more realistic. Because in my daughter's story, my wife sometimes insults and threatens people, but not like this. She also loves my daughter. She was always happy to take care of her when she was little. I need an outside perspective. What should I do? Please help. Now, the reason why I say this is a good story for writers is a number of reasons. First, I want to give you a secret thing that you can do when you run into a story like this. The first thing I would ask myself is this a story that I would use for characterization? So say you have a character and you want to make the character a little bit better. Say the character is bland. So you could look at this story and say, okay, which of these characteristics can I put into my book to enhance my character? Especially if you have a situation where there's a mother, a father, a daughter, or in this case, a stepmom. Which one of these characteristics can I put into those characters in my book to enhance them? But what I would do when I read stories like this, I say, is this a story that I can create a full book out of? Or is this a story that I would just use for characterizations? I think that you could use this story to make a full book. And let me tell you why. It has all of the components necessary to write a book. It has a protagonist. It has an antagonist. And it has what could be perceived as the goal. You know, will this child end up having to leave? So depending upon who you want to put in each category, you can definitely do a book. Let's say you want to make the father the protagonist. Then obviously in most books, you always make the stepmother the antagonist. But what if it's the daughter? So you have the different components that you can use to make this a full story. And this would be really good for somebody who wants to write a book but doesn't really have any ideas on what they want to write about. Yes, the stepmom theme has been done many times before, but that's why it works, because people, number one, have come into contact with it in some kind of way. In a lot of cases, people have dealt with stepmoms, not in all cases, but stepmoms, stepfathers, coming into a ready-made family. So even though this concept has been done before, I think it would make an excellent idea for a full story, specifically because you don't really always hear the father being the one who is, basically trying to keep things together. It normally is the mother, and then a new dad comes in and then he irritates the kids. So I would definitely be able to make a full book out of this. Okay, for characterizations, there's not enough based off of this story to make basic characterizations, because what we have here is a situation we don't know who's telling the truth. The father is in the middle. The wife says the room was messy. All I told her is with this behavior, she may not be able to take care of herself. And then the daughter is saying she was going to throw me out. So we don't have enough for full characterizations unless we're just talking about the lying of it all. So I love this story for that reason, because he went into a lot of detail. It was a lot of jumbled. I had to paraphrase a lot, but I love it for that reason, because it has my protagonist, my antagonist, and it has the mystery surrounding it. If you want to write your book in 7 days, please click the link in my bio. Do not delay off of writing your books. It is about to be Christmas time. You can get these books turned around ASAP, and you can still make those. Actually, I don't know about Thanksgiving, but you can still make that Christmas goal. Click the link in my bio. Get to writing, and I really hope this helps. I will talk to you later. Bye.